Americans get answers. The truth is, we simply cannot afford 2 more years of Democrat control. It is our commitment to the American public, a plan for a new direction to make sure that the next century is the American century. With that, I want to introduce our whip, Steve Scalise.
Thank you, Kevin. And I, too, want to extend my prayers and thoughts to the people of Florida and South Carolina as they face the devastation of Hurricane Ian. We're here today on the backdrop of the Capitol as we get ready to go back into our communities around the country. And as we go around the country, you're hearing the same recurring theme. Families are struggling under the weight of big government socialism. What Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi have done the last 2 years to ram through trillions in spending, mountains of heavy regulation, and more big government socialism, it's hurting the lower income families of America. It's costing people jobs. It's making it harder for them to put food on the table. And people are saying enough is enough. And they're losing hope. But the good news is we're providing hope in what the commitment to America represents. We're laying out to the American people a plan, a vision for the future, bold conservative ideas that actually confront these problems that Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, and all the other big government socialists here in Washington have done to make things harder for people. We're going to actually return power back to people, restore freedom and hope to communities. We're going to get government off of people's back and do things like reduce inflation, like bring an energy policy that promotes American energy after we've seen 1.5 years of attacks on American energy. And when Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi go after American energy, it yields higher prices at the pump. It means people can put less food on the table. You know, we were in Pennsylvania rolling this out just a few days ago, and we heard from families that are struggling. They talked about how it makes it harder for them to live their normal lives. When they talk about the border crisis, we had a sheriff, and we hear from sheriffs like this all the time. And unfortunately, we also hear from coroners who tell us the thousands of deaths from fentanyl. Over 100,000 of our young people died because Joe Biden opened the southern border, and then China makes fentanyl. They know the drug cartels can bring it right across this open southern border, and it ends up in every community in America, which means every community in America is now a border town because Joe Biden won't secure the border. Republicans, if we win the House majority, will bring legislation to secure America's border. We're willing to show the country what we would do if they give us a